recall you once described yourself as a prosecutor in the past, but now you see yourself as a defense attorney. Similar to a lawyer, a defense attorney, your fees are tied to the work done and the outcome, like a performance or incentive fee. The difference is the legal profession has strict rules and penalties for misconduct, for criminal behavior. Yet in your profession, in your area, there aren't government regulations or penalties. Basically, only self-regulated codes of conduct and ethical standards. My question for you is, how do you assure your clients that your recommendations are in the best interests and not driven by your economic incentives?
Yeah, this is a great question too. And I do view myself as a former prosecutor who became a defense attorney. I think the best defense attorneys are people who used to be prosecutors because they understand the tactics and strategy and what the other prosecutor is trying to achieve. So I think that's an apt analogy. But I think that what's in the best interest of the client becomes evident really fast. I start teaching them how to have safe conversations about pay almost immediately. And so practical steps and script that they can use. So very experimentally, I will teach them and drill them and rehearse with them first. And then they actually try it in their next interaction. And they very quickly are starting to see, wow, silver bullet after silver bullet. Now I know what to put in an application and my phone actually rings. Now I know how to say the right things in a phone screen and I advance to the interview without feeling like I have to lowball myself. This builds their confidence that everything that I'm teaching them how to do is good and accurate, makes perfect sense. So over the course of time, then that usually results in a very strong offer for them. And when I first started this business, I did have a gain share fee model I thought was going to appeal to absolutely everybody. In other words, my deal with my early clients was, I'm not going to charge you a dime to work with me. And instead, we're going to figure out how much you think you could get on your own without my help. And then we'll figure out where we landed together, setting the mutual goal to score above that, whether it was 15,000 or 150,000. I was going to take a small percentage of the gain and give them almost all the rest. And that seemed like a fair approach, but for a variety of reasons that failed. I think I discovered this along the way, Vince. A lot of people were reluctant, even though I was only taking a small percentage. They thought, what if my gain is $500,000? That bill could be really big, even though their gain was going to be several times larger. The uncertainty of not knowing what it would cost was an obstacle for a lot of people, and I didn't really anticipate that was going to be the case. So, the podcast name here is Chief Change Officer. And when you're an entrepreneur, you have to adapt to what the world is giving you. So I made a few adjustments there, and now I'm in a new model where people can know exactly what it's going to cost before they begin the relationship. I can spread payments out, and what I make is not tied directly to how much we gain. And that's for a few different reasons, but some of the stuff that we go after is hard to quantify. For example, if the company we're chasing after offers stock options, it's really hard to know what a stock option is worth without going to something like a Black-Scholes model or something like this. How much is 3 extra weeks of vacation time worth? How can we calculate the gain? Essentially, I wanted to get aligned with the needs of my client. Whatever their goals are, whether they're financial, otherwise, we're going to go after every single thing that is important to them and get as much as we can. At the end of it, they're assured that they got the best offer that they could get. We don't twist arms. We don't force companies to do anything uncomfortable. We're finding the maximized comfortable offer, and the employer is going to celebrate when they close you. That's our goal. We don't want to destroy relationships on the way in for the sake of a little extra money. Likewise, sometimes my clients they express that they want more than I think I think it's gonna set up an uncomfortable performance expectation. If I feel that might be a risk, I tell them about it. I'll let them make their own decision about how they're going to proceed. But sometimes, if you're making such a high salary, they may expect you to work 16 hours a day or set you up with unrealistic performance expectations that's just going to sabotage your work experience over time. We don't want that either. We want healthy, balanced, and prosperous. That's the goal at the end.